Welcome to That Strange Wrestling Show. I am Adam Strange, and I've got a co-host with me today. His name is
Joe Wimmer, coming at you live.
Yeah, we're finding our crew. You can find us, by the way, on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Podbean, other multiple podcast sources, and
soon to be YouTube, right?
Soon to be YouTube.
Find us on Twitter and Instagram too.
It's at TSWS Wrestling on Twitter and That Strange Wrestling Show on Instagram. You can help the show by leaving us a review on iTunes. A star review and a written review would be helpful. Thanks a lot. So, Joe, are you ready to get into this?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Let's do it. First, I'm thinking about renaming the show to That Paige and Alberto El Patron Show.
Yeah.
You're into it?
I'm into that. That's a great idea.
Okay, great. So
all the news you need to know.
All the news that you need to know on Paige and Alberto El Patron. So last week we reported that Paige was possibly the recipient of
charges being filed against her.
Yeah. This week we have a little something here, a quote from Alberto El Patron's lawyer. He says, "This past month we were marked with false reports by untrained reporters not doing their due diligence," which wasn't us, obviously, because we didn't report.
What us? Totally.
Yeah, a lot of other people, definitely not us.
The mainstream media is who it was.
The mainstream media. I tell you what about that mainstream media. Don't trust a word they say. Now the official report stating what actually happened. I would like to thank everyone that supported my client and never read into false reports posted on the internet by reporters trying to earn a quick buck by defaming and hurting my clients and their families, including Alberto's 3 innocent children. As you can see, there is no alcohol or drugs and no arrests, no physical harm to one another, just an argument between a couple that others exploited. Thank you to everyone who believed in them. God bless you all." So I think there were reports earlier in the week that possibly Paige was being handed a warrant for her arrest. I believe that is not the case.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah. So what do you make of this lawyer's comments?
I'll tell you what. My hatred for the fake news that goes out there and defames these starred wrestlers, it's just out of this world. I don't know what to. It looks like they're just trying to stay out of the news. I don't know. No drugs or alcohol being involved. Okay. I guess if you don't get arrested, then you don't get booked. You don't get checked for those things. So I guess they can't prove that there was anything going on. So yeah. I mean, I guess all in all, it's a good story. Like, I don't want to see them getting in trouble and getting booked in jail, but I mean, hopefully this is the end of it, and hopefully we can see them doing some positive stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good thing that nobody's going to jail at this point. Where everyone's happy about that. Everybody's been worried that this is going to turn into a Chris Benoit scenario, right? But everything, I don't know. Everything seems to be okay. Also, everything seems to be okay. I guess I'm overstating it a little bit because we also
have you done your due diligence?
I don't think I have because also we saw earlier this week the picture of Paige that circulated on Twitter where she was looking super frail especially in the chest area, which got all wrestling fans real concerned about her health. But then she tweeted out a picture of her, looking great in the chest area.
Sure.
So I don't know what to make of any of that. Okay, next up we have rumors that Brock Lesnar might be headed back to the UFC. We've got a quote from Dana White. He says, "It's crazy. I don't even know where this thing came from. First of all, I haven't talked to Brock Lesnar, so I don't know if you, John Jones apparently, have talked to Brock Lesnar, but haven't talked to Brock Lesnar. So yeah, I'm telling you right now, I have not talked to Brock Lesnar. It sounds like nobody believes me, but it's true. I have not talked to Brock Lesnar. And according to John, he said he hasn't either. So both the rumors are running rampant right now that we're going to get John Bones Jones versus Brock Lesnar.
Right, yeah.
I was wanting to say in November, maybe. They've been talking about that. I don't know how that works out with Lesnar's.
Right, I do kind of remember hearing something about that back then, about contract being up and being renewed or not being renewed. I do remember that. Yeah. In the last year.
Yeah, with WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last fight that Lesnar had, he was under WWE contract, so I'm assuming he can do it again. And Vince McMahon would probably be more than willing to do it. He's already done it once.
Right.
But what about the steroids?
Right. Yeah, he lost he won his last match, but then he got tested and they gave him the loss because he's on the gym.
They gave him a loss?
Yeah. He had to forfeit to win.
Okay.
So I don't know what the technical term for how that result ended up, but yeah, I don't think it goes down as a win for Brock Lesnar last match against I don't remember who that guy was.
I don't either. Yeah.
I should remember his name, but no. Actually, I heard an interview with John Jones. I think on Wednesday he did a Sirius XM show, and he didn't make any mention of it. So I mean, it's not. I guess he's got bigger things to worry about right now. I mean, it's not really on his radar, right?
Okay, then let's go on to the rumored card for WWE SummerSlam. All right, these only rumors. All right, how could we possibly spoil stuff that hasn't happened yet?
Well, if we get them all right, then there might be a little spears.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a spoiler, but I mean, it's just guesses.
Yeah, it's just
bunch of guesses. So, Big Cass versus the Big Show.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely happening. Here's one that they've kind of set in motion, but they haven't announced, and that's Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon.
Yeah, that's the vibe I got. Smack.
Okay, yeah, well, could happen. Kevin Owens.
I thought it was a great segment. Shane came out while Kevin Owens was walking away. I thought that was a great little setup that they did there.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they've got a great story going there right now for the United States Championship.
I agree. Let's see. So then we have another potential spoiler, I guess, with an Intercontinental Championship match with The Miz against Jason Jordan.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this. This is
okay. Well,
do you care to elaborate?
Yeah, I think it makes. It makes some kind of sense because you have Rollins and Ambrose right now who seem to be doing their thing, which brings Ambrose away from The Miz.
Sure.
There's also another rumored match that involves Ambrose, who's, I don't know, it seems like he's fought The Miz like 11 times by now.
Right.
So I think that's probably the way they're going is Jason Jordan. They haven't mixed it up yet, but I think that's probably going to happen. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, obviously.
Yep.
Is headed that way.
Are you sure he's not going to fight Elias again? Why don't you just fight Elias for the throne?
SummerSlam. It'll be match probably 6 or 7, 8 by then.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of stipulation match could they have at the point?
Oh, as long as it's not a House of Horrors, I think we're in the clear.
We got a Raw Tag Team Championship of Sheamus and Cesaro versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
I would love to see that.
Okay, now so the end of Raw this week, we saw Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins tag up against The Miz and the Miztourage.
Yeah, handicap tag match.
And it ended with Dean Ambrose getting the pin over The Miz. So that seems to
Dirty Deeds.
So that seems to have ended the way they're going to go with ending that feud. So we have the tension between Ambrose and Seth Rollins, where Rollins ended the show with his arm extended, trying to do that old shield fist bump with Ambrose.
You know, I watched that. Actually, I watched twice.
Okay.
He didn't like blow him off. Like he gave him like a little like shake of the, like he didn't do the whole like shield fist pound. Like he acknowledged it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like maybe I was reading too much into it. I don't think he just totally like just gave him a cold shoulder.
Oh, so he saw that his arm was extended. Did he look at it?
He saw the fist. He didn't make eye contact. He saw the.
Okay. Well, do you think is this headed to a Dean Ambrose turn, or are you expecting that they're legitimately teaming up here and they're going for the championship?
I want to think that they're a team, but I'm not totally sold. I know you're not sold on.
I'm not sold on. And also, I have read that there's some backstage heat on both Ambrose and Rollins. So did they, I guess I missed this, did they hug at some point in this match?
No.
They didn't hug?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I guess I missed that too. But I had read that apparently they hugged at some point, either during the match or after the match. I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But apparently they hugged, and that Triple H was super pissed about it, that they hugged.
Really?
Yeah, because I guess the whole story is, there's some tension there. There's some sort of rift, and they won't even bump fists. And then at SummerSlam, supposedly, they're maybe going to win this match, and then they bump fists. They bump fists at some point in the match.
Yeah.
And that's the big payoff for the storyline. But
see, I don't know. Like, my take on it is just that, like, maybe Dean, he's not ready to fully commit. Like, he's trying, but it's like a new girlfriend. You can't show your cards on the first date, even though they've got some history.
Right.
But he's just playing it slow, not trying to drop the panties first.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just my take. I don't know. Like, I'm just
drop your panties on the first date. That's what you're going
to. That's not what I would do personally. That's not what I would recommend.
That's what he's going for.
Right.
Okay. Fair enough. Obviously, the tag team championship match for SummerSlam seems to be for SmackDown seems to be headed toward the New Day, who just won the championships from the Usos.
I was wrong about that call.
we were very wrong about our Battleground prediction, which honestly, we'll get into Battleground a little bit. I wasn't a big fan of Battleground, but the one thing that I'll give them is it wasn't that predictable, I didn't think.
It's true, yeah.
So, and most of the times I feel like if they just do something to be less predictable, that I enjoyed it more. And here they did it, and I don't think it
didn't really connect their avant-garde approach to this.
Didn't work. Okay. Also, we should mention that on SmackDown, Jinder Mahal, the modern day Maharaja. Yes, that's more accurate. What is a Maharaja exactly?
I don't know, like Aladdin, I think.
Aladdin, modern day Aladdin.
Modern day Jafar, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, I think it's Aladdin.
Okay.
Well, Jafar. I guess Jafar makes more sense, but I'm going to go with Aladdin.
Yeah.
The modern day Aladdin demanded that he be given an opponent for his WWE Championship at SummerSlam, and out came
John Cena.
John Cena. He actually mentioned Super Cena. The man, John Cena, Super Cena, and he made a match with him and Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, he was ready to call him out right there.
Right there. But Shane McMahon had other thoughts. No, it wasn't Shane McMahon. It was Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan had other thoughts and said, no. You, John Cena, you have to face Shinsuke Nakamura next week in a number one contenders match to see who will go on to face the modern day Aladdin at SummerSlam. So are you pumped for SmackDown next week?
I am. That should be the SummerSlam match, Nakamura and John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be a great SummerSlam match.
Great SummerSlam match.
So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that on next Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's a legitimate match. Just give us a legitimate match.
Yeah.
No run-ins or something screwy like that.
Right. It seems like it's almost, I know SummerSlam is just around the corner, but it almost feels like it's just almost too soon to have that match, in anticipation of SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Because a lot can happen.
Yeah. You want to see John Cena against Shinsuke. It should be built up.
Yeah, exactly.
There should be lead into it. It's a huge match. They mentioned that it's a dream match, and it is a dream.
And all we get is one Shinsuke promo.
Yeah.
That's all we're going to see, where John Cena is not going to see it.
Right, that's it. I was going to do a horrible impression, and then I thought,
go ahead.
No, I can't. I can't do the impression.
Yeah, we've already offended the Indies, so let's not go on.
Let's not go there. Okay, so the SmackDown Women's Championship match for SummerSlam, we have Naomi versus Natalya, which is obviously already set because Natalya won her Battleground match against 4 other SmackDown women.
Did I call that?
You didn't. No, you picked Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. So.
See, I didn't do my due diligence on my. I thought I meant to.
And we have the Raw Women's Championship match: Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, which was set up on Monday night when we had Bayley versus Sasha for the number 1 contendership.
I like that match.
Yeah, it was a good match.
I didn't like the result. I like the match.
Yeah, I think Sasha Banks. She's a star, right? She's a huge star.
Oh yeah. I think she should have the championship.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. Another thing I didn't like particularly about this match, I mean, the match itself was a good match. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I had was the ending.
Yeah, sure.
The frog splash was fine from Sasha Banks to Bayley, but then it was like a 1 count, and for some reason Bayley just flipped it over, and that was it.
Right.
She had 3 count out of just flipping Sasha over after she had just frog splashed. I didn't get it.
I don't know if it was just a little mistake, but yeah, it was rough ending, but it was a fun match.
Speaking of mistakes, we got something to get into about Battleground for sure, so keep that in mind. And then the main event for SummerSlam, the rumored, well, it's now confirmed main event for SummerSlam, but would be Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman.
Fatal 4-way.
I like it. I'm on board.
Yeah, I think they did that excellently on Monday. How they played that out. Yeah,
I thought it was great.
They kind of retraced their steps, bringing out the whole roster, hold back Braun Strowman from everybody. Like they've already done that.
Yeah.
With Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar, but it's kind of the same storyline. So I guess you can do it again. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a great match.
Yeah, it's not new. It's not revolutionary what they're doing, but I think it's fine because all 4 of these guys have been built up really well, I think.
Absolutely.
With all the people that WWE doesn't do a good job with, like off the top of my head, I'm just going to thank Mike Kanellis right now.
Really?
I think they're doing a horrible job with Mike Kanellis. Horrible. I hate the whole thing. They need to scrap it. They need to scrap Mike Kanellis.
Well, okay, yeah. I thought you were saying like he's not getting the push he deserves.
No. Okay.
He's getting too much. He's getting too much of it.
No, fine. He's fine where he's at.
Okay.
The problem is they're giving me nothing to care about Mike Kanellis.
Yeah, I don't care about him.
And they just brought the guy in.
Right.
They just brought him in. So what's the point?
Okay, sure.
I mean,
someone to match up with Sami Zayn?
Send him somewhere else. He should have went to NXT to start off.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people. Okay, Roman Reigns obviously is a guy that they didn't build up correctly to begin with. But I think he's fine now. Samoa Joe has been getting a great push and obviously earned everything.
Oh yeah,
has earned the push that he's got, especially with the feud with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. I think that's probably the best they've handled anybody in a long time. Is how they've treated Braun Strowman.
I agree. I'd like to see where they go from here, though. If they can continue him, like I love the guy, but I just want to see him, continue. Like everybody's replaceable, but he seems like a guy that could be around for a while. He's young and he's huge. Like they gotta keep him fresh.
Yeah, too. It's when Strowman starts losing, I guess one-on-one matches.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen eventually at some point.
It's got to.
I don't know where they're gonna go with him because I don't know if he's a guy that can lose a couple times in a row and everybody still care about him.
Are we doing SummerSlam predictions right now, or is that too far in the future?
No, you can make a prediction right now.
Well, I mean, I was going to ask you what about Fatal 4-Way match. Who's going to win?
Yeah.
I personally
think it's going to be Roman Reigns.
I think it might be Braun Strowman.
Okay. I hope you're right.
I think Braun Strowman pins Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I say there's no way that happens. If that happens...
Since they haven't even, crossed paths.
Yeah, well, not just that, but it's Brock Lesnar. I'm assuming that they're making a Fatal 4-Way match so Brock Lesnar doesn't have to be pinned, right? So somebody else can... I'm assuming that Samoa Joe is probably the guy that's going to eat the pin in this.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming it's a Fatal 4-Way just so they can get the title off Brock without making him lose.
Yeah.
But, then again, we don't know how long Brock's going to be around.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you should probably have him eat a pin to somebody you're going to use. I don't know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell, indeed. So you're really going Braun Strowman, though, for the championship.
I am. You heard it here. Probably not first. I'm probably not the one and only. You heard it here for sure.
You're the only person. You're the only. I love it, though. I really.
I think Roman Reigns makes sense. I don't think you're too far out of left field. I can see that happening very easily. Maybe it's too early to put it on Braun Strowman right now. Give it to Roman Reigns. Let him sit. Make some good stories out of that.
There's also we're doing rumors way far into the future right now. But the rumor
it's not even SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking a WrestleMania rumor right now.
Okay.
And the rumor is that Roman Reigns is going to be Universal Champion going into WrestleMania, and he's going to go up against John Cena, and that's where John Cena wins his record 17th championship. But I don't know. Cena could easily do it at SummerSlam.
Yeah, he could.
And I have a hard time believing that Cena's going to lose to Mahal.
Right.
So yeah, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Along the lines of that, Matt, I mean, first we have to see who wins with Cena and Nakamura this Tuesday at Smackdown. But something I was hearing just early before we were on the air is that, Jinder Mahal has the title right now. Just to kind of, it's like a business move, just to get some more pull over in the Asia, India area. And so it kind of makes more sense to have Nakamura face him at SummerSlam to even, expand that Asian connection that they're trying to make right now. Just trying to get that overseas money. So to have Nakamura in Mahal at SummerSlam, that really makes sense for, a business decision for WWE right now.
Yeah, that sounds to me like it makes a whole lot of sense. I mean,
so maybe John Cena at WrestleMania is more of a possibility right now.
Yeah, let's hope so. We will know by Tuesday.
Well, we'll have a better idea by today.
Right. WWE Battleground, right? So let's talk about the reception that Battleground has gotten. According to the Wrestling Observer, they had a fan poll about Battleground, and it had 85% thumbs down.
Wow.
For Battleground, 13% in the middle, and 1.7 thumbs up.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Well, now Battleground was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
The town that booed Santa Claus at a Philadelphia Eagles football game.
Yeah.
So they're not the most accepted fans, for sure.
For sure.
Did you see me the pre-show though?
I didn't see the pre-show. No.
The fans were rowdy. They were going crazy at the pre-show. So it was kind of weird to hear that. Even you could tell, during the actual show, the crowd was not in.
They weren't into it at all. So they were obviously let down throughout the show. I think, besides, if you throw the pre-match out of the way, the first match, the Kofi Kingston versus the Usos, it was at least a decent match.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think most of everything else after that, well, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, I even thought that was pretty good.
It was solid, yeah.
Besides the weird ending to that. That brings me to this. Okay. You had the moment where I believe it was Kevin Owens that threw AJ Styles into the ref. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then, through a series of events, we ended up where AJ Styles had the crossface on Kevin Owens, but AJ Styles was also laying on his back, and the referee counted 3 on AJ Styles.
Right, yeah.
Right, yeah, during this. So a lot of people were reporting that it was a botch, that wasn't how it was supposed to end, and the ref just counted 3 because the ref is supposed to treat it like a shoot.
Exactly.
Yeah. What did you think? Did you think that this is how it's supposed to go down, or?
It was really confusing. I didn't think too much of it at the time. What was it? Last time we had this podcast, episode 1, we had an issue with a possible 2 count, maybe a 3 count in a match. I mean, you always think that the referees are susceptible to mistakes. So I didn't think too much of it at the time. But yeah, I kind of heard the rumors too that it was just a botched ending too. So who knows?
Yeah, and I think 90% of the time, I just think everything's a work, right?
Right.
So anything that happens, I assume that that's exactly how it's supposed to happen. And I had read reports that it was obvious that this was a botch because the look on AJ's face, like AJ was so surprised.
Right.
But I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. What would he have done?
Yeah.
What else would he have done if that was the scripted ending? He would have looked surprised. That's his job. Yeah. So I'm going to assume that this is exactly how it's supposed to happen. And I don't mind. Okay, again, I wasn't a big fan of this pay-per-view, but I don't mind when things happen that's a little bit off the norm. Not every match has to end after the 8th finisher.
Thank you for saying that. Yes. I'm so tired of people kicking out of finishers.
Yeah.
Every single week. How many times can you reverse an F5?
Yeah.
How many times can you reverse a Sister Abigail?
Right. That's one of the things that I actually like about this is a little bit off here, but off the rails. But that's one thing that I kind of like about Braun Strowman is that Braun Strowman probably not the greatest wrestler.
Not the greatest technical wrestler.
Not the greatest technical wrestler, but I think that's fine, especially with Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar from Great Balls of Fire. It was a great match.
Great match.
It took like 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, just hard hitting.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't need. Every match doesn't have to be 30-minute back and forth.
Exactly.
Amazing showcase.
Yeah. You can have a good old-fashioned slobber knocker.
Right. Don't be afraid of it. And let's see. I should mention here, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton from Battleground in the Punjabi prison, which we made a lot of fuss about last week.
Yeah. We kind of cleared up all the rules, I think.
The Pandas didn't show up for whatever reason.
All that bamboo. All that steel force.
And no pandas. So apparently the fans at the show couldn't see anything that was going on in the match.
Exactly. That's what I heard too. I heard it's a terrible match to watch live.
It was a horrible match. It was no fun at all.
You could at least see it watching it on the WWE Network.
Right. But I kind of wish that I was there. I couldn't.
It might have been more fun that.
Yeah, because I could have been looking at my phone or,
and checking out the babes in the crowd.
Exactly. That would have been way more entertaining than watching this match.
Buying some sweet merchandise.
Oh, I really...
Yeah. It was a trash match.
It was a trash match.
Yeah.
It was absolutely nothing. I was just dreaming about those pandas.
I know.
We were talking about last week.
What was the best part of the match?
Oh, Great Khali. Yeah, you were getting ready to say it.
I wasn't going to say the Great Khali.
Oh, you weren't?
I was going to say the Singh brothers.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
They got rocked.
They did.
They did great in the match. I think that was my favorite part.
The bump off the Punjabi prison onto the announcer's table was
crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. I liked it.
But yeah, Great Khali was cool too.
Yeah, Great Khali. I'm wondering if this was only a one-off with Great Khali and he's just never going to come back. He was just there to help Jinder win.
Yeah, he wasn't there on Tuesday for Smackdown. So, right. That's my guess. Like, he was just there because it was a Punjabi prison match. He probably delivered the bamboo.
That's why he was there. Yeah. He built the whole freaking structure.
Exactly. So he was just there so he could build it and take it back down. And now he's moved on to whatever the next place is that he's going to build a Punjabi prison.
Right, yeah. And another rumor that I had read is that the reason that they brought in Jinder Mahal was the Great Khali. The reason why they brought in the Great Khali was because they wanted to get Jinder Mahal over.
And that's their way to do it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Great Khali was never over.
No, never.
The only thing that he's remembered for is probably being the worst world heavyweight champion. I say he's worse than who was the movie star that won in WCW? Come on, help me out. Draw a blank.
I'm sorry.
You remember Ready to Rumble, the movie? Arquette, David Arquette.
Oh, okay, David Arquette.
I would pick David Arquette over the Great Khali.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know that David Arquette is a small guy and he get beat up by anybody, but I don't think the Great Khali could even catch him. The dude can barely walk.
I bet David Arquette would beat him in a Punjabi prison match. He could climb over. He could climb over that.
Garrett, how in the world would the Great Khali? That's the thing. The Great Khali was in that second Punjabi prison match. There is no way that he's going to win.
No way.
And he didn't against Batista, but it was obvious before they even started the damn thing that he wasn't going to win it because he's not climbing all that damn bamboo.
No. He's not taking 4 steps anywhere without a break.
So on the Wrestling Observer, the Woods and Kofi Kingston versus the Usos won the best match poll for that. Kevin Owens and AJ Styles came in second place, and in third place, Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, which I don't see how that's even. But worst match was overwhelmingly won by Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton. So,
okay, so where does the flag match play?
So the flag match is not, apparently it did not get a vote for best match.
Well, that's fine.
That's fine with you.
It wasn't the worst.
No, I agree. It wasn't the worst match.
It was fun.
Shinsuke and Baron Corbin came in second, which was another horrible match.
Yeah, poor Shinsuke.
Second. Hopefully, hopefully this week's SmackDown is when they're going to turn the tide on Shinsuke, and they're finally going to.
I mean, the crowd's already behind him.
The crowd's behind him.
They're not going to do much. They're not going to need to do much to pull him over.
Yeah, no, they don't. Okay, well, I think the issue is that Vince McMahon just doesn't get him. He doesn't understand it, and he's trying to understand it by calling him the WWE's rock star or one of the
an artist.
Yeah, the artist the artist Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's not Prince. He's not Prince.
He's not Prince. He's just an artist. So I think those nicknames are just something that Vince McMahon's doing just to try to figure what Shinsuke is.
Now the King of Strong Style started before he came to WWE, right?
Yes, yeah, I did.
Okay. So that's something. What?
Why did they drop that?
I don't think they have. I heard that about.
Okay, so they were doing that just as much as the other ones.
Not as much.
Yeah, maybe it's just something like that my ears automatically pick up when they're saying the other two because I just don't like him. I don't like his new nickname.
He's not a rock star.
No, that's not what he is.
He's not an emotional. He's not an emotional artist.
No. So John Cena and Rusev got third worst in the Wrestling Observer worst match poll.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You called the feat of strength that was going to happen in this match, or you at least said there was going to be one.
No, I did. I did call it. Yeah. I knew it was coming.
And it did. John Cena had Rusev on his shoulders.
Had to, yep.
And he climbed the United States podium and attitude adjustment to Rusev.
Through the tables,
the double tables.
I loved Rusev's move of taking the flag holder off of the podium.
Yeah.
Snatched it right away. Like they wouldn't bolt those down. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
You can't plant your flag if you don't have
I don't know who makes this.
The one thing I noticed about that match that I really hated was when I'm sure you saw it. Cena does a tuck and roll behind Rusev's platform, to hide for.
Oh no, I don't think I did see that.
Oh yeah, it was near the end of the match. He hid right at the end where Rusev was about to fly his flag. And he pops up right on. It was the camera probably just didn't mean to catch it. It meant to cut to a different camera for that.
Right.
But you totally saw him just roll and kind of duck and hide.
Yeah, I think this match definitely suffered from the whole the ladder match syndrome thing.
Yeah.
When people just act like they're super tired or super worn out and they can't climb the ladder.
You can't run up the entryway and just throw the flag in there, right?
Just take the damn flag and run it up there and stick it in.
Take 3 steps up the stairs. Yeah, it's a hard sell.
Yeah, it sticks out. It sticks out. How did you feel about the American flag spending so much time on the ground?
I was wondering how they were going to handle that even before the match started. How are you going to deal with flags touching the ground?
Yeah.
My first thought was, well, if it's in the ring, it's not technically touching the ground because the ring is 4 feet off.
That's a good point.
But then when they were going up the concourse, up the ramp, it was definitely on the ground. I didn't have a problem with the Yugoslavian where the Slovenian flag that could touch the ground. But seeing Old Glory touch the pavement.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I don't know how you can.
Right. If it's a flag match, it's gonna happen.
As long as it's flying at the end.
As long as it's flying, we've finally beaten Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, sure.
The United States of America has finally overcome Bulgaria.
The Cold War is over.
Oh my. So let's talk about Raw a little bit.
Let's talk about Raw, baby.
Yeah. The beginning of the show, right? Kurt Angle came out, and eventually all 4 men came out, and you talked about it a little bit earlier. Or all 4 men. I'm sorry, all 3 men. So we had Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe,
Yes.
Braun Strowman,
Yes.
and Kurt Angle in the ring to start off Raw.
We had Kurt Angle first.
Kurt Angle was first. He came out. He was gonna name the number 1 contender for Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship,
Yes.
and then he was interrupted by Braun Strowman.
Yep.
Then eventually we had the other 2 men, Roman Reigns, a big dog, and Samoa Joe come out to the ring, and just a huge brawl ensued.
Yeah, it was
It
cool.
was great. Yeah, it was really
We
cool.
kind of touched on it earlier.
Yeah, we did.
I thought it was
the thing that I wanted to mention was when the security came out and Braun Strowman was throwing the security guards
Chucking
out of the ring over the top. Oh yeah, chucking them, and I thought he had killed both of them. I mean, they were rough bumps.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
One guy almost got thrown over the top rope, but he wouldn't let go of the ropes, and he almost decapitated his head. And
Braun Strowman don't
no, he doesn't care. All he cares about is stacking fucking bodies.
piling body.
Piling bodies.
You know, I like that he said that, but I don't think that's news. I think that's been his thing since day one.
Oh yeah, you're totally on about that. Some other interesting things on Raw. So Emma asked for an opportunity backstage with Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Where's she been lately?
I don't know. Off camera.
Hanging out with Jason Jordan?
Well, apparently not. Or maybe she is. I don't know. But she says to Kurt, she threatens him that she's going to date Jason Jordan.
Right. Okay.
And is Kurt Angle upset about this?
Didn't seem to be. He doesn't seem to care.
So he just doesn't care about it.
I mean, it's his adult son.
I'm confused. I was thinking that this is how they're going to turn Jason Jordan heel, right? Is that Emma's I'm going to
bad thoughts.
I'm going to date Jason Jordan, and Kurt Angle is upset about it and kills Emma, and that's how Jason Jordan, turns on Kurt Angle.
The way I thought is that Emma starts getting into the women's division more because Jason Jordan tells his dad to put.
Okay,
I thought it was more of a push for her.
That would work, but this time Kurt Angle basically killed Emma.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Put her in the match against Nia Jax, and Nia Jax.
Right.
I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's some kind of rolling senton that she did on Emma and completely flattened her.
I didn't watch them.
Oh my goodness! Well, you could skip it except for the end.
Yeah, I knew the result.
I thought she literally killed Emma. It's very scary. We also had the Jason Jordan's debut match.
On Raw?
Yes, on Raw, where he ran over Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw parts of that. I want to see him. I wonder who else. Is he going to fight more I don't want to call him a small guy, but fight little guys like that for a while? Or what's the plan?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like I was going to say, it looks like they're, going some kind of slow build here. But apparently he's going to be on Miz TV next week. And then he's going to be facing The Miz at SummerSlam. So, in 3 or 4 weeks, he's going to be Intercontinental Champion.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. So, Jason Jordan's interview backstage with Renee Young.
Yeah.
He was just talking about how he had butterflies and he's so happy to know who his biological father is. And his father is his hero. And he's so grateful for this opportunity. And the fans were booing him.
Yeah. Is it not going to work?
But I think maybe they're doing this on purpose. My hope is that they're doing this on purpose and they're going to turn Jason Jordan into a bad guy. They're going to have him turn on Kurt Angle. And maybe it leads to Jason Jordan-Kurt Angle match.
Maybe it does. Something else I heard today. I was listening to the Sam Roberts wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bite off of him, but he said that maybe Jason Jordan is in Triple H's back pocket, kind of the way Joe was. And then this is going to lead to a Triple H Kurt Angle.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
I like the way that sounds. Really fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe Jason Jordan isn't even Kurt Angle.
Oh wow, I don't believe it.
I mean,
I don't believe it.
That might be. You don't believe it? Might be a.
No, Jason Jordan is clearly Kurt Angle's son. They look exactly alike. There is no difference between the two.
So who knows? There's a lot of ways they can.
Right.
Obviously, though, they're not going to just drop it like we may have partially kind of considered last week. I don't think they're just going to drop it. They're obviously going to go something.
Another possibility is that Jason Jordan he fights the Miz at SummerSlam and he wins, and Miz throws a fit about nepotism, right? And Jason Jordan only got this match because he's Kurt Angle's son.
Sure.
And then possibly Kurt Angle could be fired over that, and you bring in back Stephanie McMahon to run Raw. So, both of those ways, it could lead to Kurt Angle versus Triple H. That seems like it's still a possibility to happen.
It's still on the horizon.
Yeah.
By the way,
hopefully it is.
While we're speaking of Triple H, can we just give him a quick shout out for a happy birthday? The day we're recording this, anyways, is Triple H's birthday. So happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Triple H! I'm so glad that you brought that up because I have. I have so many things I need to apologize on for last week's episode. And
oh, really? You have some grievances?
Yeah, grievances with myself.
Yeah, air your grievance.
Okay, first I want to apologize to Robert Gibbs because you tried to wish him a happy birthday last week, and for some reason I kind of just shat on Robert Gibson.
Well, do you need to apologize?
I think I do. I'm really sorry. Okay. The Rock and Roll Express, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time, and I was just shitting on one half of it.
Just half of it. You weren't shooting on the Rock and Roll Express.
Right, yeah, the Rock and Roll Express is great.
They were great. Robert Gibson, though.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I take back my apology. But I have one more apology, or just retraction, maybe. Okay. Last week, I had said that I thought that Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens were three of the top guys in the company.
Sure.
And then I said, I think Baron Corbin's there.
Yeah.
And that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that.
Okay. I think I kind of contested.
Yeah, you did. And I didn't mean it. What I meant to say is that it's good for Baron Corbin that they put him with those guys. Sure. Right? It elevates Baron Corbin.
Yeah, it sure does.
Right. But Baron Corbin is not near those three guys. Unfortunately. I wish he was. And you could definitely tell this week. Although he did have a good match with Nakamura on SmackDown.
He did. It was better than their Battleground.
Better than their Battleground match. So many matches on Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views are just retread matches.
Exactly. There were a ton
of retread matches. And the fact that they're doing a pay-per-view, and they do this all the time. They've been doing it for years. But they do a pay-per-view with Baron Corbin and Shinsuke Nakamura, and the finish is terrible. And then 2 days later, they have a good match with a clean ending.
Yeah, right.
And it could be excused if there was a good storyline behind it, but there's no storyline.
No, there's not.
Just how it happened, how they write it out to happen.
It was the first time they met up, like Baron Corbin was doing commentary on a match where Nakamura was fighting somebody. I don't remember who it was. And then at the end, Baron Corbin, jumped in. I think Nakamura won, and then he just jumped in and just totally jumped Nakamura. I don't remember who it was against. I think that was where it started. It's totally random.
Right. Oh yeah. There was no.
I'm gonna jump this new guy.
Yep, that's all it was. Okay, we already talked about the main event for Raw, which was 2/3 of the Shield, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins against Miz and the Miztourage.
Yes.
I don't think do you have anything else to say about that?
About that match or about Raw?
About that match or Raw at all?
I don't think so, other than Miz and Big Cass again. Enzo and Big Cass again. More of the same, just Big Cass, just ramping up his spot of just beating up little guys. Beating up big guys, too. I guess he's beating up Big Show, too.
Yeah, he gave him 80.
80 Empire elbows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about 72 minutes. But, if that's his one move, it's no Hogan leg drop, but it's a finisher.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he needs to drop one off the top of the piece.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. See a big guy, 6'11".
Yeah,
big guy.
I think that's interesting. Let's see how that would work out.
What's Enzo going to be doing? Nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, his future has got to be in being somebody's mouthpiece or being on commentary.
Right. I don't think we could handle him on comments.
No. Yeah.
That's a little much.
Yeah, he'd have to be just one match a night.
Right.
And that would be hard to take too.
Yeah.
Everybody would complain about it. There's no doubt. But he doesn't have a future as a wrestler. He's not going to win matches.
Nope. I saw one missile drop kick that he landed. That was the best thing I've ever seen by himself.
Yeah.
That pretty much wraps up Raw. A good show.
Yeah.
Better than last week.
I think you're right. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed
I think they said viewership was either the same or slightly lower than last week, but I think it was a better show in my opinion.
Yeah, it was down 3% to just a little bit over 3 million viewers. The last hour went down about 100,000 viewers than the other 2 hours. We all know that Raw is too long. It should be 2 hours.
Yeah, so. I was thinking about that too. I kind of wish they could just flip flop. When SmackDown has a lot of good stories, make that 3 hours and make Raw 2 hours, and then when Raw has a lot of good stories, make that 3 hours. SmackDown. That's the way it needs. I actually got to watch live this week, and I thought it was too short. And I thought, I normally think Raw was too long.
Oh yeah. It seems like right now, if the roster wasn't split, 3 hours wouldn't be a big deal.
No, absolutely.
But before they did the brand split, they were doing 3-hour Raws, and I still didn't want to watch 3 hours of it. So,
It's tough. It's tough on a Monday. You got other stuff to work on.
I guess so. Okay, so we're ready to talk about SmackDown.
Smacketh the downeth.
So how excited are you that Chris Jericho's back?
I love seeing him. I don't know that he's back,
Right.
but I love to see him. I love seeing the list.
Yeah, who doesn't? This isn't just an entire one-off, you think, right? Like he'll be match for SummerSlam.
It could be.
Just a one-off.
I don't see what he's doing at SummerSlam. If Kevin Owens is fighting Shane McMahon, he's not fighting Kevin Owens.
Right, and we don't need another Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens match for them.
No, and he's not going to face AJ Styles for the U.S. Championship.
Probably not. No.
So I don't see. I think he was just there to, like you said about Brock Lesnar in the Fatal 4-Way match. Him not being pinned to get the title off of him. I think he was just there to not pin Kevin Owens to get the title off Kevin.
Well, I like it.
I love seeing him. I've got a lot of thoughts about Christian.
Yeah, and just like the Great Khali. Okay, the Great Khali.
no, Chris Jericho is nothing.
Chris Jericho, the Great Khali. They're on the same level for me.
Okay, I want to see where he goes.
Yeah, okay, where I'm going is I hadn't heard anything about the Great Khali showing up at Battleground, right? Now, I was not all that excited when I saw the Great Khali out there.
I wasn't all that excited, or I wasn't all that surprised. That makes sense.
I was surprised, but I was not excited.
Okay.
I didn't know he was coming, right?
Sure.
And sort of same way with Chris Jericho here. I had no idea that he was going to be on SmackDown, but this time I was much more excited. I was much happier to see Jericho on TV than I was about Great Khali.
Oh, he killed it. He is so good.
He did, yeah.
Killed it.
It's natural for him.
It was a fun match to watch real quick, too, that Shane McMahon comes out.
Three-way.
Yeah, calls a three-way match. That was great.
Yeah, it was a great match. It really was. A couple things about that match. Jericho hit a lion salt onto AJ Styles and Samoa Joe.
Both of them.
Kevin Owens. Yeah, while AJ had the calf pressure on Kevin Owens.
Right.
The line salt, and I don't know. That was just one of those things. It's like you're going to break something. Somebody's going to break something doing that move, but they know what they're doing, right?
It's very possible.
It looked great. AJ Styles hit a 450 splash on Jericho from the top rope. That looked tremendous.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we got a frog splash in this match, which was the second time we've had a frog splash, and it was the second time in 2 nights. Sasha Banks did it on Raw,
right?
And then we had Kevin Owens do a frog splash onto Y2J. And then AJ Styles came in the ring, picked up Kevin Owens, tossed him out of the ring.
Tossed him out, 1, 2, 3.
And pinned Chris Jericho, become the new United States champion.
Awesome.
Yeah, great.
How do you feel about just handing off the United States champion back and forth? You cool with that?
I'm cool with it.
Like 1 week, AJ Styles has it, then Kevin Owens has it, then AJ Styles has it.
Yeah,
is it going to be traded around more? Or
no, I think they're. I don't know. I'm okay with it right now. You can't do it like 2 more weeks in a row.
Right, you can't do it in a row, but it's a cool story. Having those guys in it. Like you said, that's two of the top 3 guys in WWE right now. So you can have a little bit of leeway with what you're doing with them.
Right.
And it can still be enjoyable and story worthy.
And actually, maybe the idea is that they're tossing around the United States Championship right now so much because if they didn't, that maybe it would seem that much more important than the WWE Championship. I don't know if that really has anything to do with it, but
I don't know. It's always been weird to my
but
like how important.
Yeah, I don't know. But with the guys that you have it on right now, it kind of seems more important than the WWE Championship. I know you're having the WWE on the pay-per-view. You're at least having the WWE Championship as the last match, the main event. But Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, I think everybody prefers them definitely over Jinder Mahal and probably over Randy Orton. So,
do you know who the longest reigning United States champion in WWE history?
In WWE history,
yeah.
So do you have any idea what year that goes back to? 2001, maybe?
Probably before that. I was thinking maybe like late 90s, 97, 98 maybe?
No, they didn't have the United States Championship till they bought WCW.
Yeah, they did.
Well, no, they didn't.
There was a United States champion in WCW.
Right. Oh, yeah. WCW had United States.
Yeah. Okay,
good. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Are we talking the longest reigning United States champion was in WCW? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's not Arn Anderson. Longest reigning. Yeah, I'm really drawing blank. So it's not Ric Flair. It's not Goldberg. Bret Hart. No, it's not. But I'm going to just say Bret Hart. I have no idea.
You can't see me, can you?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Let me look at you. No, I can't.
I was doing the torture round.
Oh, it's Lex Luger.
Lex Luger.
Wow.
523 days.
Wow. And that was in the 97.
That was, late WCW days.
in 1997. That was a long year.
Yeah, it was all during that. And then what about like straight up WWE commentary? They made mention to it recent on shows. It's Dean Ambrose,
yeah. That one I do remember. We definitely need to dive into title histories.
351 days, almost the count.
Oh yeah. How many days in a leap year?
I don't know, like 400.
500 and whatever.
No, a leap year is one extra, so it's 366. No. A leap year, you get one extra.
Right, yeah. Sure, 300, I don't know, 500.
300, 500.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I think we've about mentioned everything. I do want to mention, I watched some New Japan Pro Wrestling this week. Cool. I watched their G1 America special.
Yeah.
I just wish that they could, because they're doing the G1 tournament right now to determine who's going to face at the Tokyo Dome show in January. Okay. And there's a lot of buzz about it. And I just wish that they were showing more things on Access.
Did you get access?
Yeah, I've got access now. So I saw the G1 special from America, from Los Angeles, and they've got guys on television that seem like stars. And I know as soon as you put those guys in WWE, like they'd be ruined.
Right.
But
they look good though.
Yeah,
I don't watch New Japan a whole lot, but when I have, I see a lot. It's exciting to watch. It's fun.
Oh yeah, the matches they're really abusive. Like,
for sure.
Everybody seems like they should be paralyzed after a New Japan match. Everybody's getting dropped on their heads. You're kicked in the head several times. But the Young Bucks, it's all the Young Bucks, Marty Scurll, Will Ospreay, Marty Scurll.
Kind of the Bullet Club.
Yeah. Oh, his gimmick right now.
Yeah.
What's the villain from Batman?
Mr. Freeze?
No, not that. The Penguin.
Oh, the Penguin.
The Penguin. Yeah. He's doing like the Penguin gimmick.
Sure. I can see that.
Oh man, I absolutely love it. I've got to buy some Marty Scurll merchandise.
I think you should. It's a good choice.
I think I'll probably. So yeah, you have any more? Go ahead.
Did you happen to catch any NXT?
I did. Yes, I did. I'm glad you're bringing that up.
What do you think about the gentleman Jack Gallagher?
I didn't see Jack Gallagher on NXT.
You didn't see his clown makeup?
No.
Brian Kendrick came out. He had Jack Gallagher in clown makeup.
Why?
The reason is unbeknownst to me, but he looked straight up like Doink from back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I only saw bits and pieces of it. I wish I had the whole story, but yeah, the gentleman didn't look so gentleman.
He looked clownly.
He's very comical.
Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
Yeah, go back and check it out.
Because I watched the main event of NXT, which was Hideo Itami versus Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, that's a great match.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see the two of them face off at NXT Brooklyn this year.
Yeah,
so that should be a lot of fun. NXT Brooklyn should be a really good show this year. I think SummerSlam will be fun. If it was anything, as long as it's anything like Great Balls of Fire and nothing like Battleground.
Right.
Because I love Great Balls of Fire. I thought it was a great pay-per-view.
Great pay-per-view, absolutely.
And then here comes the Smackdown pay-per-view, Battleground, and it's awful.
Very disappointing.
But Smackdown is supposed to, typically I think people think that Smackdown is the better show of the two, but maybe tides are turning.
Yeah. See, it's always changing, but the way I've looked at it recently is SmackDown has the better wrestlers, and Raw has the better stories. And that's not always the case, but it seems like at least recently that's kind of the trend it's been. But you can always have your leeways both ways. It's not cut and dry, 50-50. It's definitely split, but that's the way that's the way I've recently seen.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the rumor that they might be doing a superstar shakeup after SummerSlam?
It's too soon, right?
Too soon. It's too soon. They just did one 4 months ago.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't like the most recent for the most part. Like I don't know if it's really all that or if they have stuff.
No, there's no way any of that's random.
No, yeah, it's not an NBA, but it's just I don't like the way they do those shakeups. I've never really liked it in my opinion.
Yeah.
To keep the brand fresh, you got to do it.
But at the same time, none of these matches, none of these dream matches are going to matter much if you're just taking guys off other brands every 4 months or 2 times a year. So I'm trying to think of a match that maybe I'd like to see between a guy on SmackDown and Raw. So
okay, here's one for you.
Yeah,
a little obscure.
Okay,
but what about calling it the American Idol match? And have Aiden English fight Elias Sampson.
Wow. Yeah.
Aiden English had the nice little song on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Before his match, his tag team match, and then Elias Elias Sampson always with the guitar on Raw. I'd like to see where they could maybe.
Yeah, they're definitely playing the same gimmick, basically.
Right.
And not only that, but JBL called it out on commentary this.
Did he? I didn't.
Yeah, he called it out because
I heard him call out another George Jones reference to the possum.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Just last week, they were talking about George Jones during an Elias Sampson match.
Okay.
And this week, they talk about George Jones during Aiden England.
Okay, sweet. I didn't catch that. But yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Like two times in so many weeks, they talk about George Jones.
Are there any legit, though, like crossover matches you like to see?
Yeah, I can't really think. I mean, Roman Reigns versus Nakamura, maybe.
Oh, that'd be crazy. I'd like to see like some kind of like a crossover, like put the Hardys somebody new.
Yeah, which looks like they're going to be sometime soon. They're going to be up against the Revival. They're actually going to have a match.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I've decided I'm not watching GFW anymore.
Really, you're done.
Yeah, I'm boycotting GFW until they finally sign over the rights.
Okay, I did see something about that they're not technically gone, or what was it?
The broken. Are you talking about the broken gimmick?
Yeah,
Yeah, they won't sign over the rights to the Hardys.
So,
like whoever owns GFW, somebody in the Anthem company, whatever that is, and they refuse to sign over the broken gimmick. So that means that I have to watch just regular Matt Hardy and regular Jeff Hardy every day. So what's going on? I refuse to watch GFW. Right?
That's fine with me. I don't think you're going to be missing too much.
No, yeah, obviously, I'm not going to miss too much. Alberto Del Rio.
Well, what have you heard about Talking Smack being gone? Is that done?
It's done. It's done, except for after pay-per-views, apparently.
Okay.
But there's been a little bit. It's a Vince McMahon decision.
Yeah, he didn't think that it was getting good reviews or getting enough viewership.
Well, I don't think it was necessarily viewership, although I'm sure if it would have been rated higher on the network, it probably would have kept it.
I thought it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it is. It's a great show, but I think
that's a bad move.
It is a bad move. I agree, because a lot of people that didn't get time to talk on TV got a lot of good segments on Talking Smack, and they weren't so scripted. That's the biggest point, is that they weren't doing scripted during Talking.
Or a lot of times, if you can't watch SmackDown, you can just catch Talking Smack on the network. You can get at least a recap. Which is what I did that a lot.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Did you happen to catch Smacking Talk, Daniel Bryan and Renee Young on Tout last weekend or last Tuesday?
Yeah, I did see that.
I thought that was pretty clever.
No, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. And I tried to look up Tout, right? Yeah. Which I guess is still a thing. Is it still an app?
I don't know if it's still an app. It should be. It probably is.
So I looked up WWE on Tout because of that, and they've still got videos on there. They're just from 3 years ago.
Sweet.
so Tout is still a thing. You can still use Tout. 4.2 stars out of 10. I mean, out of 5.
Oh, ouch! Out of 5 stars.
Yeah, out of 5. Yeah. So it's doing great numbers. Anything else for you to add this weekend?
This week, I don't think so. I think it's been a great week outside of Battleground. Raw and SmackDown were both pretty great. I think the two weekly shows definitely make up for the pay-per-view being lackluster at best. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty pleased where both shows are heading at the moment.
Yeah, I think SummerSlam looks pretty decent.
The one thing we didn't touch on was Finn Balor. Really, he had the best match out of the last 28 that he's had against Elias Sampson. And then obviously that's ramping up for him. That we did talk about him against Bray Wyatt. SummerSlam? Is that what's going to happen?
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Are they going to meet up before SummerSlam, you think?
I'm sure they'll do some, probably a tag match or something. Who knows? But I would think the one-on-one match, they're probably saving it for SummerSlam. And they might fight after that as well. But
the one other thing I did want to mention, I heard that after SmackDown went off the air, that Jinder Mahal and John Cena did have a dark match.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
I think the Singh brothers broke it up. So it was a non-decision. I obviously didn't see any of it, but that's about all I heard is that, they did get in the ring, but it was a disqualification from the team.
Well, that's kind of a disappointment. That makes me think that, maybe they're trying to warm up for an actual match at SummerSlam.
Right. That's what I kind of took it as too.
Yeah.
Or it might be to keep, the interest alive, because that's something on the stick of the seats for.
Yeah, they still have to do 205 Live after that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Oh, man.
I did see also about 5 hours ago that on Instagram was posted a picture of the Great Khali and Vince McMahon reuniting after Battleground. I don't know if you can did you see that picture already?
I did see it, yeah.
Great Khali looking very dapper in a 20 extra large shirt.
And he was no selling it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he was just like standing there, no expression on his face. Vince was smiling in the picture.
I know. I'd be like, hey, thanks, Vince, for giving me my career. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe he's got other irons in the fire.
I don't know. Well, supposedly, at least according to reports, he's huge over in India still.
I guess. He's got 31,000 followers.
Wow, 31,000, as they said.
31,000. That's quite a few thousand more than we have. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, That's Strange Wrestling,
please do.
Follow.
Please do. Follow us on Instagram, That Strange Wrestling Show, Twitter, at TSWS Wrestling. Give us a review on iTunes.
Show some love.
Please. And
I think that'll do it for us, right?
That'll do it. I think we've touched on most things.
Happy birthday to Captain Lou Albano. Happy birthday to Tori Wilson. Happy birthday to Dolph Ziggler. Who else had birthdays this week?
I haven't looked it up.
Doink the Clown, Triple H, that we already mentioned.
Tessa Blanchard.
Marty Scurll. His birthday was yesterday.
Yep, that's correct, yeah.
Amazing.
Great group of wrestlers.
What a week to be alive.
What a week to be alive. I will not insult a single wrestler.
Yeah. No Kanye diss track this week. not really calling anybody out except maybe the country of India.
Yeah. If they're still on board with Khali, then I'm definitely calling him out. The dude can't walk, okay? He cannot walk.
He can't.
All right, so that does it. That's Strange Wrestling Show. We will talk to you next week. Say goodbye, Joe.
See you then.